Over the next few videos, we're going to introduce you to the Terrain Toolkit. Now, the Terrain Toolkit does not come with Unity.
Actually, it's not even made by Unity.
No.
It was actually an entry into the Summer of Code in 2009, and it is available for download from Unity's website.
That's right. So if you come over to Unity 3D, now currently it's a support/resources, Unity extensions, and there's the Terrain Toolkit. And you can download it and then load it in as a package and use it in your scenes. Now, in short, what is the Terrain Toolkit? If you had to sum it up, how would you describe it?
It's a toolkit that adds onto Unity that gives you the ability to create terrains and apply effects to them that you don't get with the built-in Unity.
It's all about automation. It's about a way to automatically help you create your terrains more quickly, to apply filters that will allow you to cause things like erosion more naturally with just a click of a mouse without having to go in and meticulously paint little lines and things.
Right, and it'll also help you quickly get a texture applied procedurally.
That's right. Now, in this video, I'm just going to kind of show you how to get started with the Terrain Toolkit, how to get it applied to your terrain, and then just the basic operations that the Terrain Toolkit can perform for you. Just a real quick overview. So first off, getting the Terrain Toolkit running on your terrain involves you getting the package loaded into Unity. So if you don't have that, you won't even see this Terrain Toolkit folder, within which you'll find the Terrain Toolkit C# script. Drag this onto your terrain, either in the hierarchy view or here inside the viewport, and suddenly it pops in. It's just a script component. It has three key modes. It has create mode, erode mode, and texture mode.
Right. Now, something to note is this script was originally created for Unity 2, not Unity 3.
That's right.
It still works, but there are some glitches with the user interface.
There are, and we'll show you how to deal with those and how to, get the job done in any event. But really quickly, what I'm going to do is just start off here in create mode, and without really describing anything, I'm going to begin here with the Voronoi calculation. I'm going to set my preset to rolling hills, and I'll pull down the blend to about 0.4, and we'll create some quick hills. Now I'm going to add some noise to these by going over to Perlin. I'm going to take my preset and set it to add noise, and click, and you'll see that adds a little bit of noise. Now we'll jump over to smooth. I'm still in the create mode, and I'm going to add just a little bit of create, and I'm just clicking the smooth terrain button. And actually, let's add a little more. So boom. So you see that smooth things out just a little bit, and there we go. We've just created an initial shape for our terrain. Now from here we can add various forms of erosion. I'll be talking about these a little bit more a little later. And then we can apply a series of textures. But I just wanted to click on a few buttons and at least show you a little bit of the functionality.
Right. And with a few clicks, you've already got a terrain that you can start with that you didn't have to paint by hand.
That's right. And we're not limited. Really, you can consider the Terrain Toolkit to just be a starting point if you want to. We can still come back up to our terrain tools if you like, and we can paint in risen areas, we can raise and lower things, we can smooth. Everything that we've been able to do with terrains up to this point is still feasible. The Terrain Toolkit just gives you a basis from which to begin. So over the next few videos, what we're going to do is go into more depth with the Create panel and the various settings for it, how they work. With erosion, I'm going to introduce you to how each one of the erosion settings works, but we're not going to dive too deeply into all of the knobs and switches for it.
Right, you'd probably need a degree in geology to understand some of this stuff.
Exactly, which I don't have, so I'm not going to try to pass myself off as a geologist, but I will show you the basics for how each one of the forms of erosions works. And then we'll walk you through creating your procedural textures, which again you can use as a starting point to modify and perfect the overall texture of your terrain. So with that, let's go ahead and get started with the Create panel.